Thanks, Duree, for joining us today. Really happy to have you here and talk a little bit about PR. I see that your company, it says that you started your company when you were 24 years old. So, I mean, what is that? Maybe you've been like a few years in business now. So
I wish, you know, the way to my heart. I always joke that if I started at 24 and we've been in business 20 years, well, you don't have to be a mathematician to figure out, I guess, how old I am, but I'm at peace with it. So that's okay.
what made you want to get into it?
I was very lucky when I was at the University of Miami. I needed a part-time job. I was in the School of Communication, and there was a part-time job available in PR. I had no clue what it was, and that wasn't even my major, but I got the job, and it felt second nature to me at 19. And that was really it for me. At that point, I realized that I love PR. Didn't realize that there were people behind the stories that you read, especially back then. It was a really, really long time ago. And that was it for me. And I was very lucky to be able to have a number of internships and jobs, so that by the time I graduated, I was already working very much full time and had a lot of experience. So I'm very lucky, and I know that it doesn't always happen like this, especially as my children ask me, "How did you figure out so young?" And I said, "It's not normal. So please don't take that as stress or pressure that you're supposed to know what you want to do at 19. That's pretty unusual."
So what would you say to some of the people out there in terms of the importance of PR and marketing and social media right now?
It's a great question, and it's been very indicative in looking back a little bit. We've been into COVID for a little bit now, and at first I didn't know kind of how our clients were going to need us. Nobody had a crystal ball to know how much PR was really going to be needed. And I've just been, as long as I've been in the business, and I know PR is a necessity, and you need it, and it evolves, and it's a requirement. This has really shown me even more how critical public relations and crisis communications has been for all of our clients. And so we've been extremely, extremely fortunate to be able to guide our clients during this time as it has evolved, because it started as, what do we do? How do we close? How do we notify people? What about the employees? And now we're looking at, what does it look like opening, and what does that communication look like for those that can open as this continues to evolve? So PR has been more important than ever. And if there was any doubt, I sometimes never know, but clearly based on the client needs and the requests that we've had over this, it's incredibly crystal clear to me how needed we are by the clients. And the clients have come out and said that. And in professing my gratitude, my profound gratitude to our clients who have stuck by us and have needed us more and more, it's just become very clear to me that they do see us as a necessity. And for that, I'm internally grateful to be able to help them navigate through this situation. And then obviously it allows me to keep working at full steam ahead, keep my team intact, although working remotely, but very, very, very busy with very little time off, 7 days a week, but so incredibly grateful for the opportunity to help guide our clients and even friends and colleagues during this time of, what do I do? How do I do it? With it continually evolving. And one of the things that has, I guess, provided dividends for me as a business owner is being incredibly diversified. And I didn't listen to a lot of consultants over the years who said, you need to specialize and you need to be in kind of one or two industries. And I didn't listen to them, because I think I've been in this business for so long that, for my own sake of excitement and fun and challenge, I've always wanted to be a generalist. I have always been a generalist. And so I think that's been a saving grace for us as a business. But certainly helping the clients navigate, it is very different based on the industry that they are in. Are they deemed an essential worker? And, that's a different communication than it is somebody who is not. And our work with nonprofits, for example, we work with Feeding South Florida, and we have for many, many years. And if you've seen the news, around the US plus locally, the Feeding America affiliates, of which Feeding South Florida is one of them. I mean, the increased need is like 600%, the millions of pounds of food that's had to be moved in just a few short weeks now, even though it feels like it's been months and months and months or years at this point. So, our communication for them is very different than it would be, let's say, for a law firm or, it's another industry. So it is very specific to the industry, so and to the client. And so the one thing though that is certainly a common thread is making sure that for the clients that are open, that are operating, how are they operating? Are they keeping social distance? Let's make sure anything portrayed on social media is indicating that. We've obviously had clients that have had to alter their retail offerings, and sometimes it's been curbside pickup, it's been delivery, but how are they doing this and how are we letting the clients know? So there is just a number of different facets that we have in ways that we have to communicate during this time. And it depends on the industry, but certainly all of our communication, whether it be in an e-blast or social media or press release or a Zoom call. We've even had clients doing numerous webinars that we've had to help facilitate and organize. And we were actually on the phone with a client the other day who's moving their luncheon to be virtual. So now we're definitely having to roll with the punches, and as we now reschedule and look to keep things kind of intact, but in a different way, we're just having to pivot. And that's the one word that I use over and over again is I've said, this is, if you remember the Friends episode where Ross keeps saying, pivot, pivot, pivot. This is,
what does that mean?
Pivot, pivot. This is the theme that we definitely have had to just keep pivoting and not kind of knowing what's coming next, but certainly helping our clients as different requirements and laws have come in and things that they've had to navigate. We've had to help them navigate that on the communications front to make sure that they can still get the sales or, still communicate with their patients if they're a physician or, clients or whatever it may be. So we're definitely having to pivot every single day. And now as things are continuing to evolve, it still is a pivot. So I think we're going to be pivoting for quite a while.
Yeah.
And there is that new normal. And so I think that's what's keeping us going, certainly, and just making sure that we are servicing and helping our clients keep their businesses open. And if they can't keep them open, how do we virtually keep their businesses open? Or how do we move things online and kind of shift some of those priorities? It's from lawyers to retail to, physician office who's even closed that still needs to get organized, move some things online, and they all need to communicate on social media and e-blasts. So we've definitely seen more of those. And the one thing too that's been interesting that I was looking back on yesterday is we don't even have time to really write press releases these days because things are moving so fast that I was commenting yesterday to my team. We haven't even really done that many press releases that we would normally have a lot more. We've done some, but things are just having to move so quickly that we're working on pitch letters and social media, and things are just moving so much faster that we haven't been creating as many official press releases. Certainly we've just been pivoting and having to quickly get things done.
Yeah, I think there's a lot of kind of winging it sort of, and just keep moving and through it. It's super challenging for a lot of businesses right now. There's nothing that is normal going on. So,
the only thing that's normal is that it's not normal.
Right. That's the consistent part.
The new normal.